5 seconds.
I think we're live. I think we're live.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. We're super excited to go over how to pitch your social media services. So we did a pricing webinar a month or so ago. And it was so good, and we definitely needed to have a part 2 of that kind of conversation. So here's our part 2. So we're going to be going over how to pitch your social media services. So we're very excited about it. Hello, everyone. Jessie's here. Jessie is our growth marketer, so she is new to our team. So claps for Jessie. She's in the chat today, so you can say hello.
And we have Lyle as well. She's our writer, and she's also joining Pod Love here, just supporting the pod in the webinars. Thanks so much.
Love it. Hello, Lyle. Awesome. And of course, people are calling in from all over. I love to see it.
We have someone from the Philippines. Wow.
Ooh,
Thanks
nice.
for calling in this time. I think it's like maybe 1 a.m. or something. So appreciate it, Martin.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for coming. Cool. All right, so keep sharing where you're joining from in the chat, and I am going to get right into it. All right, so if you are new to our webinars, we are HeyOrca, and we host webinars every single week. But if you're not quite sure what HeyOrca is, we are the social media scheduler your team will actually love. So you can kind of see a little sneak peek of what it looks like here. But I may be biased, but my favorite part about HeyOrca is that you can have unlimited users. I feel like that's something that isn't that popular among social media management tools. So I feel like that's always something I like to mention.
Yeah, if you guys are looking to collaborate with different people, give us a try. We think you'll actually love it. And like Alyssa says, you're not going to be penalized for better collaboration as well.
Yes, we encourage it. And then Qetsiyah just put our website in the chat there. So if you haven't heard of us before and you're curious, you can head over to our website.
Yes, Mark, unlimited users.
Yes.
It is real.
It's true.
That's a dream for every social media manager.
It truly is. Awesome. And if you are new to our webinars, we will introduce ourselves. So my name is Alyssa, and I'm a community manager here at HeyOrca. So I help with our webinars, our newsletter. We have a Facebook group. So all of our little communities there. Maybe I've chatted with a lot of you before through those areas, but I can pass it over to Joe.
Hey, everyone. I'm Joe. I'm the Chief Executive Orca at HeyOrca. And I'm really excited to show you some of the upcoming features that we're going to be releasing. I think you will love it. So looking forward to it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Qetsiyah, and I'm the social media community manager here at HeyOrca. I do everything kind of regarding social media, and I also do kind of partnership stuff as well as graphics. So that's what I do.
Awesome. Thanks, Qetsiyah. And we have our LinkedIns here in the chat. So if you want to connect with us there, you can. And feel free to share your LinkedIn as well in the chat, and we can kind of all connect with one another. Because I feel like LinkedIn is in its prime right now. I don't know about everyone else, but I feel like LinkedIn's like hitting a stride right now, and people are really into posting and connecting. And I think it's going to just continue into the new year. So definitely share your LinkedIn profile in the chat, and we can connect with one another. And I do want to mention, if you need closed captions for this webinar, there are 2 different ways you can turn that on. So if you're using Chrome, you can go into your Chrome settings, and at the bottom of the settings page, you'll see an area for accessibility. So you can turn that on, and then you'll have closed captions. And if you're using a Mac, you can go into your menu and system settings, and you can turn on captions there as well. And then we do upload our webinars on YouTube a few days after they happen, and there'll be closed captions there as well. So if you want to re-watch, we'll have those there. And of course, we're on social. So follow us on social. We're pretty active on LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok. We're trying to step up our video games. So check us out there. And we also have a newsletter. So our newsletter goes out every Monday to Friday. And every single day we highlight social news, but every single day is a little bit different. So you might be getting a free resource. You might be getting trending audio. We usually go over a tactical topic every single week, webinar reminders. So it's a really good way to stay connected to what's happening in the industry. So if you're not subscribed yet, I definitely recommend it. And Qetsiyah put the link in the chat. And then we also have a Facebook group. So our Facebook group is called HeyOrca Community, and we have 5,300 and something members in there from all over the world. So it's a really great place to go to keep up with what's happening in the social media industry. But also if you're running into an issue or something like that, definitely go to that group. Let everybody know. And I swear everyone always has the answers. Everyone is so smart. So if you need advice on anything, definitely head over there. And we do have a merch store. So shout out to Lyle. She thought of this awesome name, Splashy Merch by HeyOrca. So we have a merch store. So we thought we definitely want to give away some merch store points so that you can get something from our store. So here's a little sneak peek of the store. So we do have merch and we also have snacks. So if you say you're not into, a t-shirt or a hat, but you're more into snacks, you can definitely get snacks instead. But there's going to be two different ways to win points today. So the first way is head over to our Instagram, and we have a poll currently going on. So if you vote on the poll, you will automatically be entered to win some merch store points. So stay tuned to the very end to see if you're one of our lucky merch store point winners. And then the second way is actually for HeyOrca customers. So HeyOrca customers in the webinar right now, you have two different ways to win. So your chances are pretty good. So if you're a HeyOrca customer in the chat, I'm going to ask a question about HeyOrca, and you're going to let me know your answers in the chat. And then at the very end of the webinar, I'll do a random generator to pick a winner. So today's question is, do you use AI captions within HeyOrca, and what's your favorite part about it? I feel like it's definitely a feature that is super helpful because we all experience having, like a giant brain fart all the time where you're like, okay, I've been writing captions for so long, I don't know what else to say. So everyone who's a HeyOrca customer who uses that feature, let us know why you love it and how you use it. Because I feel like there's different ways you can use it. I know Joe uses it sometimes to brainstorm or to think of like LinkedIn posts for his LinkedIn. So different things like that, it can really help. So you can use it for other things, not just captions, which is cool.
Yeah, like I used it for one of the posts on Instagram today. I mean, Instagram and other platforms. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I use it all the time, especially when it comes to brainstorming captions. It's perfect. But now we do have Lyle, who helps a lot too. So yeah, that's even better.
Love it. Love all your answers. Time-saving brainstorming. Awesome. And Joe just actually put a free resource that we have that's filled with AI prompts as well. Because sometimes that can be the hardest part of using AI, is actually coming up with the right prompt, because depending on how good your prompt is, that will, really impact what you get back. So definitely check that out if you've been maybe struggling with prompts. Cool. And like I said earlier, we do webinars every single week, and next week is a really exciting one. So we are going to have a special guest named Maria Spector joining us, and we are going to talk about how to plan social for the holidays. So we know how crazy the holiday season can be. So she's going to go over some strategies and when you should really start holiday planning, the strategies to incorporate to make sure your holiday campaigns are going off, with success. And then also, if maybe you're an agency or a company that shuts down over the Christmas holidays, it's definitely a good way to see, how you can organize those posts, because everyone needs a break. You don't need to be working the entire holiday season. So she is going to show us how she usually sets up her holiday posts. So really excited for that one. And Qetsiyah just put the link to the webinar in the chat. And then she also linked out Maria's LinkedIn page. So I suggest following her because she always has really great content. All right. So we'll get right into it. Will you be sharing a recorded video of this webinar? Yes. So this webinar is being recorded. And once it's processed, it will go out to everyone who is registered. And then it will also go up on YouTube a few days later.
Alyssa, do we want to cover the HeyOrca features?
Yes. Sorry, I was getting carried away into this. I'll pass it over to Joe because he actually has something really exciting to show you before we.
So I'm not going to take too much of your time, guys, but this is very exciting. So I do want to let the HeyOrca customers know about some of the stuff that you can expect over the next couple of weeks here. So the first one that you can expect in the next couple of weeks, let me share my screen. We're going to be releasing Instagram collab feature. So very, very soon, you'll be able to publish collab posts right from HeyOrca. I'm not supposed to show you this, but I think it's okay. But I just want to show you what to expect here. So this is like just some of the mockups that we have, but we're already actively building it. So in HeyOrca, when you tag an account, you're going to see in the middle here, that's going to say invite collaborators, right? So this is in your Instagram. It works for Reels or an image posts. Next, you'll just add in the user account. So over here, I entered the username and you'll be able to tag and click invite. So then it'll invite the collaborator. And then once it's done, HeyOrca is going to preview what it's going to look like. So it will be that the creator that you've tagged and also HeyOrca. That way, when you're sharing it with your clients, they'll be able to see that this post is a collab post and we'll be able to see who they're collaborating with. So the really great thing about this is once it's live, Instagram is going to post it and tag your collaborator and they'll be able to accept it. And that's the same thing. So you'll be able to schedule collab posts, which I know would be a really big time saver for a lot of you who use collab posts. So that's the first update to look forward to. The second update to look forward to is Facebook and Instagram DMs. That's coming really soon. So if you have HeyOrca Pro, over here, you'll see social inbox. And you're actually able to see a symbol here that says it's a messenger. And you can actually click view chat. And HeyOrca is going to launch a inbox for you. And you'll be able to reply to the DM, just like you would in a normal, in Meta and in the native tool itself. So we'll be supporting DMs for Instagram and we're supporting DMs for Facebook. So all of this is part of the process of helping you take back your day. You do everything in one place at the same time, allowing your customers or clients to understand what you're trying to post for them. So let me know which one you're excited about, collabs or DMs. Love to hear what you think about it. So that's it. And I'll pass it over to Alyssa for the webinar.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks. Yeah, I know the Instagram collab feature has been highly requested. So I'm really excited to see that one. I think that's going to be awesome because I feel like I'm seeing more and more people using that feature on Instagram. And it's great to use because it's like you get double, the engagement, double the attention. So I'm really excited for that one. Awesome. So let us know which one you are most excited for in the chat. But today we're going to be going over warm leads versus cold leads, how to create a cold email that converts. And we also have a very cool free resource for you that has to do with that. And then best platforms to use for pitching your services. And then we'll end off by talking about creating your ideal client profile. So we'll get right into it and I'll pass it over to Qetsiyah.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be talking about this. I feel like it's long overdue. But I think it's also really important to know whenever you're pitching between the difference between cold leads and warm leads. Because with cold leads, people don't know who you are, right? Like you're literally just reaching out, but they have no idea who you are. Whereas with warm leads, people know who you are. They already have an interaction. Maybe they follow you online, they know of you. So personally, I prefer warm leads because it doesn't take too much to convert them. Whereas with cold leads, sometimes you're left on red or left in the cold. No pun intended. No, actually, that was totally intended. Um, so let me know, what's your favorite, cold leads or warm leads? But yeah, I'll pass it over back to Alyssa. Take us through things to remember.
We have some comments in the chat here. Cold leads scare me into needing a cold shower. Yes, it can be scary, I feel like. And we'll get into kind of how to approach those cold emails. Because I feel like whenever I think of a cold lead, I think of when people message you on LinkedIn, just like the craziest like message trying to get you to sign up for something. But there wasn't really any personalization or anything in the message. So that's always what I think of. And there's definitely ways you can enhance your cold emails or cold messages. So we'll definitely
Or
get
like
into
the calls that you get, like randomly, you're
it.
like, how did you get my number? I just don't get it.
I feel like I've signed up for so many things online that my phone number is just floating out there. Like I have so many spam calls. It's a bit ridiculous.
Same. That's why my phone is always on do not disturb.
Yeah, my phone's always on silent. Awesome. All right. So when you want to send a cold email, and this also works for warm emails as well. So here are just some tips to remember. So research is everything, especially if you're sending a cold email. You want that person to know that you actually took some time to, look at who they are, look at maybe the company they work with, the work that they do, just making sure you actually know a decent amount about this person or company that you're reaching out to. So always make sure to do a little bit of research before actually sending that email. And that leads into the second one. Personalization is key. So once you do that research, you then can add in, a little bit of a personal touch within that email. So you can maybe touch on something they posted recently, or maybe the company just had a big milestone and you saw that on their website. You can touch on that in your email. So making it as personal as you can with the information that you have. Another thing to remember is keep it concise. So no one wants to read a super long email, especially if it's coming from someone that they've, never spoken to. So keep it concise, keep it as short as you can keep it with the information that you're trying to send out, because shorter is always better. And then clearly state your value proposition. So I would say in that email, don't take forever to say what you want to say. So whatever you want to get from that email, I would say it almost right away. You want to capture their attention so they know exactly what you're wanting from them. And then the next one is attaching social proof. So this is always really good, especially if you're trying to get a new client or customer. You want to make sure they have something in your email that they can look at to maybe see some of your work or something from maybe a past client that did really well, just something that they can see so they can really get a sense of what your work is like. So always attach something in there so that they can see, a little bit about your work. And then add a compelling CTA. We always want to make sure there's a CTA, call to action, at the end of the email, or anywhere in the email. You can kind of spread them out if you want, but you want to make sure it's compelling. So you want to make sure that it's going to make them actually want to click it. Maybe don't just say, click here, like let them know what they're going to get if they click on this link. Make it really eye-catching so it's a little bit more enticing for them to click on. And then another tip is proofreading. I feel like this is a big one, and there's tons of, plugins you can put in like Grammarly that can really help with this. And I highly recommend it because sometimes when you're, writing an email really fast, you spell something wrong, you don't catch it. So when you use things like Grammarly, it can really pick up on that. So you don't have to think so hard on everything, but Grammarly does me dirty sometimes. That is true. I had Grammarly on earlier and it caught something and I was like, I don't think you're right, but I mean, maybe it was. But proofreading is always important because you just want to make sure that, especially their name, make sure their name is spelled right. I feel like that's a huge thing. It just takes a couple seconds to double check that someone's name is right. And so definitely their name needs to be right. But it's always just good to have no spelling mistakes. And then a few more, you want to make sure you have a professional email signature. I think this just steps up your email like from here to here because you have your really well thought out email. And then if it just is signed off with your name and nothing else under it, it doesn't look as professional. So having an email signature, it doesn't have to be anything crazy at all, but just making sure you have one there. And then this sounds a good one for your subject line because I think subject lines can be the hardest part because that's really what the first thing someone sees and determines if they actually open the email. But in your subject line, you want to make sure that there isn't any spam words. So some of these words include the word free or urgent, or if you have a bunch of exclamation points, or if your subject line's all in caps, it could be flagged as spam, and then it will go right to their spam folder. So it's always good to try to avoid those kinds of words. And then, of course, be patient. So when you send a cold email, they're most likely not going to respond immediately. If they do, that's awesome, but they may not. So always be patient. And it is okay to send a follow-up, but I wouldn't bombard anybody with a bunch of follow-ups. So just something to keep in mind. And then this is kind of that extra step, but if you want to use an email campaign platform to help track your success, that's always really great too. And you can use HubSpot or anything similar to HubSpot for that. I don't know if there were any questions here when I was going through that.
There are no questions, but I did want to quickly just highlight is it Kara or Kira's comment where she was saying like, oh, I hate when they use a template and don't check so it comes like hello name. And
Yeah.
that once happened to me. I at the time had hired a VA and I was like, okay, like highlighted all the parts that needed to be customized, and she sent out the template and the person got so mad at me. Like she was so mad. Like she got back, she was like, I can't believe you just used a template. And I haven't sent a cold email, like a cold pitch ever since. I got traumatized. So definitely
it's the rite of passage. You gotta, if you're gonna do cold, you gotta take it like not personally. Just know that it's it's a numbers game a lot of time.
Exactly.
And someone asked, what subject title is actually good. From our experience, again, granted that we're not service based, but when I was running my agency as well, sometimes the easiest thing, which is something that would create curiosity. So a lot of times I find like putting your customer's name. So for us, oddly, this is always the best subject line. Your company times like X, and then whoever that is, like your client that you're trying to reach out to. And I'm going to send a website that's really good as well. They actually show you some of the good sales emails, and you can go. It's not service based; it's definitely more tech based, but you could take some inspiration as well. And I thought their follow ups and everything. There's a lot of things to learn from that.
Oh, cool. I'm going to check that out. And sorry, Dominique has a question. What is your opinion on sending links in emails? I mostly find that emails with links end up in spam. That's a good question. I think it's okay to have a link or two in the email, but I think they get spam or they get flagged as spam if there's like an overwhelming amount inside. then that can maybe trigger that spam alert. But I think it's okay to like link out to maybe your social proof or link out to your website. But I would try to avoid having multiple links in your email. Just because I feel like it also looks a bit personal too, and it's not just like link.
I would say maybe like put it in your email signature for the first one. Like you have like check out my work or check out my portfolio or like whatever it is that you want people to see, but that you can't link in the first email. I've seen some people do that, and I personally click on it because I love watching people's work. But I think that could be also something because I don't think email signatures get flagged.
That is smart. Yes, definitely utilize the email signature. Awesome. And to help you out a little bit, we do have a cold email template. So I'll show you it quickly. I have it here. So we'll send it in the chat and you can take a look at it. But we have 5 different emails in here. We have an initial email outreach, a follow-up, a case study if you wanted to kind of get their attention first with the case study, and then a value-added email and a free consultation email. So a couple templates there. So you can make a copy of it and use it, and you can kind of put your own personal touch on them. You can change it up. It's good to use a template as inspiration just because sometimes it's hard to think of where to start, but you can use a template and kind of use it as, a starting point with your cold emails. So we can put that in the chat here. Oh, Qetsiyah put it in. Perfect. So you can use that if you are needing a little bit of help. Lyle says you could also A/B test a hit reply to XYZ CTA against a link CTA. Ooh, good idea. Yes, an A/B test also very smart. Awesome. Well, I'm going to pass it over to Qetsiyah, who's going to talk about the best platforms.
So I'm going to talk about where you can pitch. Again, like I do have like in person as well. I think that sometimes going in person is great as well. But I think just in general, like wherever your target audience is on is the best platform to pitch. So if you're looking to more so connect with CEOs, I would say like go on LinkedIn. If you want to connect with coaches and stuff, like most of them are maybe like on Instagram, like kind of know where your target audience would be, and then that would be the best platform to pitch. But I think just joining Facebook groups related to your industry or where your target audience would be. So for example, like if you're a wellness coach and you have like wellness programs and you would like to, connect with other like people who would like to be coached by you, like go into like a health Facebook group, right? Like about all healthy living, start posting tips and tricks and helping the community out. And there's people who are going to be bound to be like, oh my God, like you're so good. Like, do you offer XYZ? That's always a great thing to do. LinkedIn also offers groups as well. So feel free to like join any Facebook groups, Facebook, LinkedIn groups as well. I just in general, groups are really good. Also messages, just like DMing people. I think on LinkedIn, it's a little bit, some people hate like sales pitches, but just connecting with people is also really fine. It's also great because you can really optimize your profile on there to convert or for people to know what you do. So, that's also kind of visibility there. I also said private groups. So groups that aren't necessarily Facebook groups or anything, but like membership groups. Those are also great platforms. Some people might be, for example, for marketing, there might be like a group for marketers and you can, join, or for freelancers and you can be posted on their website and all that stuff. So that's why it's always great to be part of a community because people love referring people. I'm also thinking in-person events. I know it's not a platform, but in-person events or even virtual events, like at HeyOrca, we only love virtual events. We're not big on going in person. But when you go to virtual events, usually there's a section where you can leave your contact information where people can see like the attendees or like whoever kind of joined, leave your LinkedIn and all that stuff, and people can go and check you out. So I would 10 out of 10 recommend doing that. Email, very classic. You can send out cold emails. You can call people as well. I also had like success just DMing someone, being like, hey, I do this. Would you like to have my service? And that also worked because they were able to immediately see my work on my Instagram page. So it was kind of a win-win. So there's so many different things, but if you guys have like other platforms that are good for pitching, feel free to send them in the chat so we can help each other out. I know Upwork is also a really good one, I've heard. So if you have anything, post it in the chat. We're helping other people out.
Thanks,
Okay.
Qetsiyah. Yeah, Robin says Facebook groups are a huge source of referrals for us. That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like Facebook groups are great. It's a great way to like spread the word about, your agency, or if you're freelancing. It's always a really great spot. And for LinkedIn, I've noticed that LinkedIn has now like quite a few features for if you want to like book a consultation or book an appointment. I always notice that on some people's profiles. So definitely, if you're thinking about utilizing LinkedIn, check out those features on how you can really optimize your profile for someone to easily contact you or book an appointment with you. Because I think that those features were released maybe a couple months ago, but I feel like I'm seeing them a lot more now. So definitely check that out.
Yeah. And then when people look you up or they look up a specific service, all the people that offer that service will like pop up. So for example, yesterday I was looking up accountant. Don't ask me why, but I was looking that up, and all the people who offered like services in accounting were like popping up. So definitely utilize it. It works. You can get increased that way. And yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely make sure you have your services filled out on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
Alignable. I haven't really heard of Alignable,
Me neither.
but I'll have to check it out. Awesome. All right, so now we'll get into ideal customer profiles. So this is a really good exercise to do before you start to do your outreach, whether it be a cold or warm outreach. Definitely want to figure out who your ideal customer profile is first, and that will really help with narrowing down the search. So you need to understand who your ideal customer profile is if you want to properly pitch to your clients. So what is an ideal customer profile? And you can refer to that as an ICP as well. So the definition of this is the perfect company or customer you want to target for your business. So say you're doing freelance social media, but there's a certain type of company that you want as your client. Maybe you're targeting like fitness, people in the fitness industry, or maybe people in the beauty industry. I think really narrowing down on a certain type of industry or like profile type is really helpful, instead of just kind of sending them off to everybody you can. I think it's really good to niche down and have that really specific customer profile. So why is it important to have one? So it helps create content that really resonates with their interests. So say you were trying to target the fitness industry, you could create your own content that really targets that type of industry. Same with like beauty industry or the like medical field. Like once you really know the industry that you want to target, you can then target your emails a little bit better. You can add a little bit of personal touch there with whatever industry you're targeting. You can optimize your advertising strategies to reach them more effectively and efficiently. And you can create personalized service offerings that can set you apart from competitors. So if whatever industry you're targeting, you could do something super specific that only really that industry would find helpful. You could have that in your services, and then automatically someone would be like, oh, like this person's really targeting towards our industry. I think I actually want to go with them because I think they know more about it. So let me know in the chat if anyone is from an agency or you're a freelancer. Do you have an ideal customer profile? Is there maybe a certain industry that you like to target or that you like to work with? Let me know in the chat.
Yeah, I think like the whole. Sorry, I don't know if you were gonna say something
Oh,
else.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, I think there's this one person that I think kind of does this very perfectly, and I'm so sorry I forgot their name, but they started doing like web design for 6 to 7 figure like women-owned businesses, and once they had that, obviously they expanded their offering specifically for those people. So then they offered like branding as well because then they were looking for branding, and now they offer like photo shoots and all that stuff. But it was really like perfectly tailored for that specific target demographic. And yeah, she's doing amazing. So definitely niching down and knowing your ideal customer profile helps so much.
That's awesome. Oh, Rosina says, I love the webinars on Alignable. I'll have to look those up, get some inspo. Robin, we prefer to work with established companies over startups. We do not have a specific niche, though. I help automotive businesses. Awesome. I am presently working for a trail running company. Very cool. Cybersecurity companies. Awesome. So yeah, there's so many different industries. And the good thing about social media is that every industry needs social media. So every company needs it. It doesn't really matter what the industry is. You always need to have that online presence. So that's the good thing. That's the perk for social media managers, is that everybody needs social. So that really helps. Awesome. Well, that is everything we have to cover today. I don't know if anyone has anything else to add before we get into our giveaways. Awesome. Well, we can get right into our giveaways, and then we can probably end a few minutes early, which is always good. So I'm going to organize these now. I'm going to check our Instagram poll for our first giveaway. So if you haven't voted on our poll, I'll give you 10 more seconds while I get it set up.
Yeah, we're looking forward to a webinar next week where we talk about holiday campaigns. So I'm not sure how many people are already preparing for the Christmas or the holiday season. So looking forward to learning from you as well. And this is not only just holidays, right? We were talking about it and we were saying that, we're always very busy as marketers and it can happen at any time. Mm-hmm. And so definitely looking forward to next week.
So, all right. So I'm about to do the draw. So this is the first draw for merch points. This is somebody who voted on our Instagram poll on our stories. So I'm going to not look and just randomly select one. I selected Lyle, who is on our team. So Lyle, I'll message you, but I'm going to pick somebody else.
I think we can pick another person.
All right. The next person is Lee Hetherington. Lee Hetherington. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name incorrectly, but you're our first merch winner. So I will be contacting you after this webinar, and I'll be getting you your merch store points. So stay tuned for that. And then I wrote down everybody who was a customer letting us know about AI captions and how you use it. So let me do the random generator now. All right. So the second winner for merch points is Amber Tate. Amber, you are our second winner. Let me know if you're here in the chat. But yeah, again, Amber's here. Perfect.
Yeah, congrats.
Yay, congrats, Amber. So I'll be contacting you as well after this, and I'll be getting you your merch points, and you can redeem it for snacks or merch, whatever you would like.
You can redeem it, or you can be strategic about it and save it. So are you an instant gratification person, or maybe you're going after a bigger one? So we're still loading up the merch with more stuff. So definitely looking forward to seeing what you get for yourself.
Yes, I feel like I'm the kind of person who would need to spend it immediately.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah, I have no self-control. So I think I feel like you got to spend it.
I gotta have something immediately. But that's awesome. So congratulations to our winners. And I hope to see everyone next week because I think it's going to be a really awesome webinar. I can't wait to collaborate with Maria. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their week and a good weekend.
All right. See you guys. Thanks so much for coming again.
Bye.
Bye.